So I would say that over 10 years, I've probably revamped, rearranged, taught differently my curriculum at least 4 or 5 times. This is the first year of my latest iteration, and I'm following a type of physics teaching called modeling. And essentially, all it is developing a model in the kid's brain of what they're experiencing around them, what the physics is. Today, you saw our introduction to uniform acceleration, right? So what is acceleration? What is it when something's not constant velocity, when it is uniformly accelerating? So the idea behind it is, there's a big inquiry lab in the beginning of each unit, and essentially they gather this data, right? We go through this kind of brainstorming phase, which you saw, where essentially, they see something, or so they see me rolling a cart down a ramp, and I just kind of prod them and prod them and prod them. What are the things we can measure? What is all the scientific data we come up with this? And some kids are like, oh, the color of the car, and the size of the car, and the mass of the car, and the length of the ramp, and then the angle of the ramp. And then we kind of have to come to this conclusion of, okay, what things do we want to measure in order to build this constant acceleration model? And you kind of saw that the first part, which is super messy. It's like kids are they're doing something they've never done before, right? We haven't worked with ramps or anything yet, so they're kind of trying to figure it out. But most of them will end up see this data, and they'll kind of say, okay, at least I can know how it's different from the last model that we built. And then really the next class, we will kind of get together, they all put it on whiteboards. We literally get in a circle and have a big discussion about what it is that they found. The grant money, I was kind of torn. So I knew I wanted a high-speed camera. So I decided that it would probably be best to go with 3 cameras that are similar to GoPros. They're like high-speed kind of sports cameras. And they record a maximum of 240 frames per second, which is pretty good. It's twice as fast as like the latest iPhone's kind of slow-mo mode. And we're able to capture some things like rocket launches. But currently right now, like today's, it was pretty low speed. We kind of had to set the settings down a little bit, but that's kind of the direction I'm going. They just capture the video of what is happening, and then we use some video analysis software, really that just kind of spits out a position and a time. So they find out where that object was on a horizontal scale, and then at what time it was there. And what the kids see is they end up seeing a curved line. It's kind of funny. I mean, you get 33 kids, as crazy as it was today, you get 33 kids like crickets. Like, what does the slope mean? And me as the teacher, I try my best to just let them kind of ask the questions and try and figure out what it is. What does it mean? I would say if $500 doesn't sound like a lot of money, I mean, you probably are not a teacher or haven't been a teacher before, because I mean, every year we get zero money on a per teacher basis. Like my school will support me with sometimes equipment, every other year, depends on budgeting and stuff like that. But you just never have that money that's like, I get to pick and I get to spend it, right? I'm usually kind of splitting it over 270 other teachers. So I feel like I can make that go a long way.